dating trope, classic, nothing new. However, I'm trash, okay? I am a garbage can, as well as the garbage inside it. Hello everyone, it's Fifi and welcome. Thank you for being here today. If you are new, welcome. I'm Fifi. Thank you for clicking on this video, and if you have been here before, thank you for being here again. I am so grateful for you. So this is supposedly a wrap-up video, but surprise, I did not read anything in November. Which is funny because November is, I think, the most that I've planned my TBR, but it, like, nothing. It evaporated. I don't know where it went. I did not read anything except for like a couple of, like, I went into poetry. I went a bit into short stories. When I say a bit, I mean like maybe 2. And I read a graphic novel, which I just bought yesterday and I finished today, which I've actually read before, but you know, we'll get there. But also I want to share with you what I've been watching for the past few days. Actually, for November, I haven't really consumed anything as much. I would just work, sleep, see my friends. So there was not really much reading, not really much watching, except Red Taylor's version. So, I mean, we must. I wanted to share this drama that I've been watching for the past few days, but I think I'll do that last. I'll go first with the poetry that I've been reading this month of November that has really saved my life. Not exaggerating in any shape or form. I love a sad girl poem, but in this case, it's sad girl poems in plural text because Mary Oliver just writes. She just writes. Unfortunately, she's passed away in 2019. God bless her soul. But we are fortunate enough to have her work, to have her legacy here with us, and that is most of my November, which is the Mary Oliver New and Selected Poems, Volume 1. I've mentioned before that I'm not really good in reading poetry. I've wanted to start with beginner-friendly ones that I would understand because, you know, poetry exceeds language barriers, grammar barriers, whatever barriers there is. There's so much imagery going on, so much personal perspective in a poem, and if you're not really well-versed in the world of poetry or you don't read a lot of poetry, you will not find it easy to just pick up a random Pablo Neruda and, you know, understand it and love it. Like, as much as I'd like to delve into Emily Dickinson, what could I get from there that I would understand and grasp? So I picked up this collection called Blue Iris Poems and Essays by Mary Oliver, and it hooked me. Mary Oliver just reached out of this book, took me by the neck, pulled me in, and to this day is not letting go, and I don't think she'll ever let go, and I love that. I found this one in Fully Booked. This is just selected poems from her different collections. These are phenomenal poems. I understand them. I understand the imagery. It's so easy to get lost in a Mary Oliver poem because she's so attuned to nature and loves the earth. She just loves everything. Mountains, fish, birds, grass, the ocean. She has a poem for every single one, but has the ability to relate it to human emotion and human connection. So beautiful. I want to read one of the poems that caught my eye. And this one, it's called The Fish. My dog is knocking. Do I let him in? I'm filming. My dog just is here. If you see, there he is. He's in a mood, so forgive him. The first fish I ever caught would not lie down, quiet in the pail, but flailed and sucked at the burning amazement of the air and died in the slow pouring of rainbows. Later I opened his body and separated the flesh from the bones and ate him. Now the sea is in me. I am the fish glitters in me. We are risen, tangled together, certain to fall back to the sea. Out of pain and more pain, we feed this feverish plot. We are nourished by the mystery. Who writes like this? Honestly, nobody. Nobody writes like Mary Oliver. All of them are very random, but I know the structure of the book kind of adheres to a certain theme per chapter. Caleb! You just literally knocked to enter and now 5 seconds later you want to go out. Okay. I love you also. What was I saying about Mary Oliver? Yeah, she's amazing. Read her. You're not into poetry? Read her. You're into poetry? Read her. You're sad about life? Read her. You're happy about life? Read her. Okay, next. I mentioned I got into short stories. It's because of this one book that is just a collection of like mini novellas and like mystery, like short mystery stories. I've read a couple of stories here before, probably when I was like 14, 15, because I remember my mom reading this. This is my mom's copy. Oh, by the way, have I mentioned the title? I haven't. It's called And Thereby Hangs a Tale by Jeffrey Archer. And I know, like, to the kids who have reader parents or whose dads love to read, this is probably in your shelf, okay? Jeffrey Archer is a staple dad author. Like, the dads read Jeffrey Archer. The moms, too. I mean, my mom. This is my mom's. But it's a staple dad book, a staple parent book. You will have Jeffrey Archer on your shelf together with Tom Clancy, John Grisham, Daniel Silva, James Patterson. That's like the holy circle of parent books. And they write like thrillers, mysteries, espionage, and all that. So, Jeffrey Archer, I read And Thereby Hangs a Tale years ago because my mom was forcing me to like get into more mystery, detective type of heisty type of books, and because I was reading a lot of fantasy, and she was like, maybe you should try a bit more, like branch out a bit more. So this is probably the genesis of my love for mystery detective books. There's a particular story here, and it's the first story, called Stuck on You. You can't see that. And I can't tell you actually what it's about. Maybe a bit of it. So this couple called Jeremy and Arabella are buying a wedding ring. I don't know if it's a wedding ring or an engagement ring. They're really, really, really in love. Especially, this is in the man's perspective, well, at least the first story. They're picking out rings, and suddenly one very, very expensive diamond ring disappears. Gone. Poof. Erased. It's a big mystery, and the more I tell you, the more I'll let the plot go, so I'm not gonna tell you anything. So those are the types of kind of stories we have here. A lot of mystery, or a lot of thrilling short stories, and it's very, very, very easy to pick up, very easy to read. I feel like if you're in a reading slump, which I am in currently, this is a very nice book to pick up because there's no commitment. You can read one chapter and leave and go back after like 6 months. I don't know. It's so good. There's suspense. It's also a bit seductive the way Jeffrey, sorry. I'm mixing up the Johns, the James, and the Jeffreys. Jeffrey Archer writes really seductively, not in a bad way. Very mysterious ambiance, but also will really lure you into the story. And since it's just, you know, chaptered novellas, it's, again, easy to pick up, easy to let go and go back to again and again. So, And Thereby Hangs a Tale by Jeffrey Archer. I love this book so much. The last book, if I can call it, I read this November, and I literally just bought the other day, is this bad boy. Yes, it's, yes. You've seen it, you're seeing it, you're hearing it. We have Lore Olympus by Rachel Smyth, Volume 1. Yes, it's here. We have it in our hands. We have Lore Olympus in our hands. If anyone is not familiar about Lore Olympus, this is actually a webtoon that started, of course, online, and I used to read this at the app called Webtoon. It's literally it's the Webtoon app. This one. Can you even see? You can't. It's this one. Found out about Lore Olympus because of Tumblr. A lot of my friends started just raving about it. Nobody actually really clearly like recommended it to me. I just kept hearing it from my friends. They were like, oh, Lore Olympus updated, blah, 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 blah. It was this whole craze. It still is. Until I got into it, I got until around episode 15. So it's easy to just grasp, but at the time I just couldn't go through it all at once because I found out that this was coming out and I kind of wanted to experience the graphic novel experience. The last time I read comic books was a very, very long time. I used to read a lot of comic books. I stopped. I guess I wanted to actually experience the rest of the story in my hands. I'm so happy I have this because I finished it in one night. I mean, it's a graphic novel, so it's easy to finish, but still, it's quite pricey. It's $9.99 in fully booked, but I finished it in a night, and I'm kind of disappointed in myself that I did not have that self-control to kind of pace this, but there's no pacing Lore Olympus, especially if you have it in your hands. Did I even tell you what it's about? No, I didn't. It is a reimagining, or like a modern spin-off, modern retelling of the story of Hades and Persephone. So this is present day with technology, with parties, rich people. It's not for kids. There's swearing in here. I mean, if that's for your kids, sure. It's a bit on the YA leaning towards new adult side because it's a bit, yeah, yes, if you get my drift. Beautiful. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I can't really spoil anything, especially if you know your Greek mythology, if you're well versed, you know the story of Hades and Persephone. Beautiful graphics, beautiful plot, beautiful everything. As you can see, Hades is blue, like he's a blue man, and Persephone is pink. I really love that detail about how the characters have colors. Poseidon is green, Zeus is purple. Yeah, Zeus is purple. Hades is again blue, Persephone is pink. It's so beautiful. I really recommend this to all Greek mythology lovers. If you're not a Greek mythology lover, I suggest you start with this, with your Greek mythology journey, because it is very, very friendly. It world builds really well, and again, it's a graphic novel, very, very easy to read. So if you're not into books yet and you want to start somewhere, start with a good graphic novel. Start with Lore Olympus. Now I just want to talk about not a book but a drama that I recently got into. Do you guys have those ads on Facebook where it's like a fan fiction website? I don't think it's fan fiction. I think it's like original stories, but they post an excerpt and then there's like a snippet video, which is not really the video of the story. They just took a video from like an existing movie or an existing series and tried to make the video seem like it was about the story that they're writing. There's so many websites about that. There's like werewolf websites, like stories about werewolves, just random romance stuff. I saw this snippet of, like, they got a snippet from a random drama or TV series, and I had the biggest crush on the girl and the guy, like both of them. I was like, these are two very attractive people doing very attractive things. They look in love. What drama is this? I want to watch it. I looked at the comments and they were all in a language I had no clue what it was. I figured out it was Turkish and then I kind of, you know how Facebook has like seat translation of each comment? I translated everything and until I found like a semblance of a title. I typed it on Google and I found the drama, and the drama is called You Knock on My Door, or the Turkish title is Sen Cal Kapimi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but the English title is You Knock on My Door. This aired in 2020 and finished this 2021. It has 2 seasons. I can't even express how hooked I am with this TV show. I am so hooked. I never thought, okay, I have this project called Dramas Around the World series, project, challenge, whatever, where I watch different TV shows or dramas from different countries. So of course I started with Korea. I've always been watching K-dramas since I was a little kid. I've seen Korean, Chinese, Japanese, Thai, Malaysian, French, Spanish, and now I'm in Turkey. It was a big jump. Like, I don't know where the closest I would have guessed to go with this whole challenge would have been like maybe an Indonesian one, maybe something Southeast Asian, but I never expected to jump to Turkey. Turkish dramas were never on my radar. I've never seen, because usually the way I go about these things and the way I get into them is I see ads or like I see Instagram stories about them, I see TikTok TikToks. This one was just like completely off my radar. I've never seen any Turkish drama ads ever in my life. Anyway, this drama, You Knock on My Door, I just can't stop watching. And the most ridiculous part about this is it is 2 hours per episode, and there are 52 episodes in total, season 1 and season 2. For season 1, it's 39 episodes. For season 2, it's 13 episodes. Right off the bat, it's not an original, like, it's not the most original story. We've seen these types of stories before. We follow Serkan, who is the man, the guy, cold-hearted, tsundere, assholey, stoic, obsessive, kind of really smart man who is an architect, so he owns his own architecture firm, and his firm, since he's very rich, gives out scholarships to universities. Our main girl, Eda, got a scholarship from Serkan's firm, but then when she was just about to fly to Italy, because her scholarship was like an international scholarship, the company where Serkan works cancel the scholarship completely. So she hates this man. Like, she thinks he is the reason that her dreams are ruined, that she never finished her education. So they got into this whole like circumstance where they were able to meet, and she was able to unleash all of her anger on him. And at the same time, he needed like someone to pretend to be his fiance because his ex-lover was also engaged to someone that he hated. So he pretended that she was his fiance, and there's this whole thing about them pretending to be lovers. So again, big dating trope, classic, nothing new. However, I'm trash, okay? I am a garbage can as well as the garbage inside it. There is just something about cliche shows that get me, reach out, and just choke me. I don't know what it has. The more unoriginal it is, the more drawn I am. That's totally ridiculous, because a lot of the times I complain about, oh, this is nothing new, oh, this is so old news, oh, blah, 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 blah. But I still do it. I still do it, okay? I'm also just kind of upset that I've not delved into Turkish dramas before. Like, why was this never on my radar? Why have I never seen Turkish dramas? Because they're really, really good. It's not... How do I say this? There are a lot of plot holes, since the plot itself, I mean, the trope itself is one big plot hole. But the actors are amazing. I feel like with a cliche story, and a story that has been done over and over and over again, especially with romance novels, romance in general, you have to have great actors, because the story, again, is nothing new. So what will make your viewers watch or keep watching is if you have good actors who have amazing chemistry and just overall are superb performers, which this show has, okay? Not just the main protagonists, but also the antagonists, the mother of the protagonist, the cousins, the best friends. Everyone is great. The thing is, with me, I get so fixated. When I get fixated, I need to see a doctor. Like, it's that level. I need to go to therapy. I am unhinged. I go feral on my fixations. I just found out that the two actors who play the guy and the girl are now a couple in real life. I kind of fainted. My heart kind of stopped. I prayed to Jesus. I love this show so much. It brings me so much comfort. If anybody needs like a feel good, I don't know. I just wanted to share how much this brings me joy. It's about family. It's about love. It's petty AF. It's kind of really ridiculous. Again, a lot of loopholes. It's so ridiculous, so impossible. These people cannot be real, but I guess that's why I'm watching it. You know, I don't want real. I want fantasy. I want fiction. Everything is beautiful. From now on, I will be on the lookout for Turkish dramas. I'm now in like a phase, because I remember each time I watch a drama from a different country, I always have a phase. I watch like around like 5 dramas per country before I move on. So this is my first Turkish drama. I probably will watch like 5 more. The only hurdle is the amount of episodes and how long each episode is. This one is 2 hours. So if you're a cool girl and you love indie stuff, you're probably not gonna like this. This is for basic girls only. So if you're a basic girl like me and you like really cliche, ridiculous shows, you have this. Hello, editing Fifi. I think I forgot to mention that I have not finished the series yet. I'm still in episode, while I'm editing this video, I'm currently in episode 21 out of 39 episodes in season 1. So it's also the type of series that after a certain number of episodes, when like the main conflict has been resolved, it gets kind of repetitive. So again, I'm recommending this to people who are kind of patient and really just in for the feels and the vibes and the kilig. Not recommending it for people who hate repetitive plots, because this gets repetitive. It gets impossible, like more impossible than it already was. It's 52 episodes in total, so what else can you do with a story, with like a romance story, right? Yeah, I just wanted to mention that because you might get into it and be like, Fif, this is a lot, and this ended in like episode 10. I could have stopped there. And I'm like, I respect that, but there are basic girls like me who like that long journey. Okay, that's all. Everything in the show cannot happen. It's impossible. It's just it makes no sense. But if you're into that, by all means, watch Sen Cal Kapimi or You Knock on My Door. Let me know. Let's talk about it. I have not met anybody who has watched this show, and apparently there's a following, so let me know. Yeah, that's it. That's all I have for today's video. It was kind of a chill month. I wasn't very pressured to read a lot of books. I wasn't very pressured to consume anything, mostly because, again, of work, but also because I just wanted to exist, lie in my bed, hang out with my friends, eat out, stare at a flower. Yes. Is that it? Yeah? I guess that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for swinging by my channel. Chat with me in the comments. DM me on Instagram, on Goodreads. Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon.